Apple has lifted its restrict. The company noted that the developers are responsible for all software offered, including ensuring that the software complies with these guidelines and all applicable laws, and all laws included. God darn it. What's up, y'all? It's the Gaming Zon here, bringing you your gaming news. And today we're just going to go over a few of the stories that happened over the weekend. So without any more further ado, let's get into it. So after making $2 billion in 10 years, the Elder Scrolls Online director wants you to know that the MMO is definitely one of the successful live service games. Don't bet against ESO. Earlier this year, the Elder Scrolls Online announced that it has made more than $2 billion in customer spend, and its studio director says that the figure got highlighted partly to help shine a light on the game's ongoing success. In an interview with Games Radar, studio director Matt Fura says that the $2 billion figure, which was announced at GDC last month, was revealed mostly to shine a light on the game. That's because Fura's Options ESO isn't often talked about as one of the successful live service games, but it is very much on just about every level. Real quick before I continue more into the article, my opinion on this: I played Elder Scrolls Online when it first came out. I mean, first came out, like when you had to pay $60 for the game, not $10 a month for it. I hated it. Like immediately, I hated it. I'm not gonna say immediately. I played the game. I completed one region. And then when I realized that I had to go to a different region and do everything that I did in the first region in the second region again, I stopped playing. The game is vastly different than from when I played it. I played it somewhat over 10 years ago. So that right there should give you an idea of how much this game has evolved and changed since then. I can see where Fura is coming from. In a world where a handful of juggernauts often appear to maintain a stranglehold on the genre, even ESO's attachment to the likes of Skyrim rarely seems to catapult it into mainstream attention in the manner of, say, World of Warcraft. But making headlines is rarely the most important thing for dedicated communities of fans, and Fura recognizes that. I think that 2 billion figure just shows the commitment that the players have to the game, he continues, and also that ZeniMax Online have. It's hugely successful and we love working on it. There's no denying that the game has been pulling in an average of 2 million a year for a decade. It's doing seriously well. Interesting, Fura's comments come in the wake of recent reports that suggest that older games took up a majority of total playing time in 2023. But while games like Fortnite and League of Legends were some of the headlining games there, it's interesting to note that there are plenty of other highly successful alternatives existing in the background. Skyrim completely changed what people even thought an Elder Scrolls RPG was, so the MMO had to radically change a lot of things. My thoughts on Elder Scrolls Online: I think I would definitely try Elder Scrolls Online over again. Like I said, it's been a while since I played it. Who knows? I might even hop into it this weekend, depending on what the gaming landscape is looking like so far since then. That's all I have for this topic. So on to the next topic. Apple lifts App Store ban on game emulators. The developers will be responsible for ensuring games are legal. That's right, folks. Emulators are now coming to Apple products. I can't even tell you how happy I am for this for one, and then two, there's a lot of old games that I would love to replay now on the emulator. I have an iPad Pro, and Super Mario World is probably one of the first games that come to mind. Played that game when I was so young. I probably never beat it, and so with this opportunity, I could definitely go and beat it now. Emulators always existed. Of course, I know I could have been played the game, I could have been got it, but this is more of a legal way of doing it. I don't have to worry about the SWAT team knocking on my door trying to arrest me for copying emulators. So I'm very excited for this news here. Apple has lifted its restrictions on retro gaming emulators on the iOS App Store. In an update published Friday, the company announced that the game emulators previously banned on the iPhone store will now be allowed globally, as well as downloadable games. The company noted that the developers are responsible for all software offered, including ensuring that the software complies with these guidelines and all applicable laws. And all laws included. God darn it. Game emulators have long been banned from iOS, but as noted by The Verge, today's move should allow the retro console emulators currently available on the Android to bring their apps to iPhone. The decision was likely influenced by the European Union's decision to allow third-party app stores in the region, which could have enticed users with apps banned on the official app store. Several developers recently expressed uncertainty over the future of Apple's game subscription service, Apple Arcade. Speaking to Mobile Gamer Biz, sources voiced concerns about Apple Games subscription service in the wake of iPhone maker reportedly canceling projects, cutting developer payouts, and turning its back on original games. So real quick, what it sounds to me is that Apple created a subscription service a while ago. I want to say a couple of years ago. It was called Apple Arcade. They mentioned it in the article. Being a gamer myself, being a gamer who has a high-powered PC, not that high, I have a 5700 XT, it gets the job done. But being a gamer, Apple Arcade was never in my, oh, I should definitely get this type thing. If the emulators are on Apple Arcade, that is something that could definitely get me to buy. I think it would be a smart move on Apple part if they do add the emulators to Apple Arcade, especially if they want to make money for gaming. Apple already has some pretty great games. There's a lot of games on Apple that you can't find on Android. There was a game I used to play all the time on Apple. It's called Phoenix HD. It's a shoot 'em up, essentially. Really fun game. I was sad when I lost my Apple phone and then I had to switch to Android. Recently, I want to say a year ago, I just got my Apple phone back. I've been loving Apple. I like Apple. Apple is great. That's all I really have on this topic. So I saw this over the weekend, found it funny, and I actually purposely saved this article because it's hilarious to me. CD Projekt executive pokes fun at Ubisoft's quadruple A game, Skull and Bones, and says the studio will now make a Penta A games. The Witcher and Cyberpunk's 2077 publisher throws some shade. Is it getting dark in here? A CD Projekt Red executive has slyly poked fun at a fellow publisher, Ubisoft, in its failed attempt to label Skull and Bones games as a quadruple A game. AAA is usually a label given to blockbuster games by big money companies to signify that yes, these games were expensive to make. The label is normally meaningless. At best, it gives a sense of a game's budget. At worst, it's marketing jargon used to convince potential customers that high production value makes a good game. For people that game, we all know that we have seen some AAA games that should be a single A. I'm not gonna name no names, but we all know what games those are. Ubisoft attempted to pull a similar stunt when releasing its multiplayer pirate ship romp Skull and Bones earlier this year. CEO Yves Guillemot previously called the endless delayed game a quadruple A release to justify its $70 price tag, an argument that better players strongly disagreed with. There are AAA games that are $70. I've even seen a AA game, I believe, that is $70. I don't think how many A's you have in your game should determine the price tag. I think the quality of the game should determine the price tag. I've said before, I've played games that cost $10, and I've played those games more than any of my AAA games. I promise you. The topic of ever increasing A's also came up in a recent financial Q&A chat with CD Projekt Red Investor Relations VP Carolina Noss. Sorry if I got that wrong. One question jokingly asked whether Witcher or Cyberpunk 2077 studio will release its AAA only stance amid Ubisoft comments. Ours will be a 5A, Noss responded. Video game budgets have become unstable, and thus the AAA arms race have officially begun. Skull and Bones marked the first quadruple A game in history, and I really wish they wouldn't have done that, but here we are. CD Projekt Red dares to unleash the world's first Penta a game with The Witcher 4 and Cyberpunk sequel. Who will pick up the mantle, write checks, and dare to develop a, what is that, 6A? 6A game first? Yo, this article is hilarious. In more serious news, the publisher also shared that The Witcher 4 will introduce gameplay elements and new mechanics not seen in the original trilogy. We don't have much more information about the upcoming RPG yet. Even its name is unconfirmed. Though CDPR won't be replacing developers with AI to make the sequel. Our Skull and Bones review said it was too much of a grind for too little reward. This is funny to me. I really like seeing CD Projekt Red. They've been talking a lot lately, and I love to see it. They're funny. I'm starting to see that these are some funny people. I'm really starting to rock with CD Projekt. Yeah, that's all I have for this. So, next topic. Okay, final topic for today. Helldivers 2 devs ask players to let democracy lie for a few days due to crashes. So, without going too much into the article, let's talk about this real quick. Helldivers 2, when it first came out, the game was really buggy, the game was crashing, a lot of things was going on with the game. The developers from Helldivers 2 put out essentially a community note saying, hey, don't buy this game. Right now, our game isn't up to snuff, and we're trying to get it better so that you can enjoy the experience for playing the game. And essentially now they're doing the same thing. I haven't been crashing really much on Helldivers 2 lately. I've seen posts about it on Reddit. I've seen posts about it online and stuff. People are crashing. Crashes are happening. I haven't experienced it. But the devs themselves, he's basically letting you know, hey, you can stop playing the game right now and we won't care. The game will always be here. Please just allow us to fix our game first before you start essentially bashing us. Some of you gamers, y'all cry over the littlest thing. And I promise you, Helldivers 2 will be back. Just relax. After Helldivers 2 latest patch caused the game to crash more often, Arrowhead has suggested that players let democracy lie for a few days. As anyone who has spent time searching for mechs and APCs will no doubt know, Helldivers 2 is almost constantly being updated, sometimes very publicly to add new seasonal content and sometimes secretly to add features and machines that haven't been announced yet. It certainly makes the game seem more alive, but not every update has been positive. Just a few weeks ago, Helldivers 2 released patch 1.00.1.03. I put too many points in that, which nerfed planet hazards and buffed the EXO-45 mech suit. While those changes were good, the patch also caused crash to happen to players a lot more often. Over the last few weeks, players have been complaining about the state of the game or wondering when a fix was going to be implemented. Helldivers 2 devs say a fix for crashes is coming. A hot fix for the crashes is coming, but not over the weekend. Hang in there, or perhaps let the game rest for a while. I feel you, and glad you love the game, but it will be waiting even if you let democracy lie for a few days. This is the second time Helldivers 2 has made an announcement like that, and I'm highlighting it because there aren't many devs. I don't think there are any devs out there that has done this. If there are, please message me, comment down below, and let me know. However, the devs at Helldivers are really extremely confident in what they have, or they just want people to get the best money for their product. As reported by PC Games In, a Helldivers 2 developer recently confirmed on Discord that a hot fix for the crashes is going to be coming soon. Arrowhead developer Twinbeard posted on the Discord revealing that the hot fix is in works but won't be released over the weekend, suggesting it could release as early as Monday. That wasn't all that Twinbeard had to say, however. After confirming that a hot fix for the crashes is being worked on, he suggested that players leave the game alone for a while they wait for the fix, saying that Arrowhead will be here waiting even if you let democracy lie for a few days. This right here is the quote I just read from the tweet. This isn't the first time that Arrowhead has suggested that players leave Helldivers 2 alone for a while. Back when the game first launched and was plagued with server issues due to how many people were trying to play online, Arrowhead CEO Johan Palstedt, apologize if I got that wrong, told players to hold off on buying it until the servers have been fixed. You have to love the honesty about the state of the game. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I love Helldivers 2. Okay? It's so much fun. Sometimes I can't put it down. And this is the type of games that gamers like to play. Something that doesn't force the message in you. Something that is great for multiplayer. You know, you and your friends could play. I kind of wish they did a little bit more with solo, but that's just me. Helldivers 2 is definitely going to go down in as one of the greatest games that have been released in gaming history. I definitely believe that. And I'm excited to see how much more they have in store for this game and where it's going to end up. So that's all that I have for you guys today. I'm just going over a few news stories that happened over the weekend. If you made it this far and you like what you heard, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't make it this far and you didn't like what you heard, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.